बाला सर, गुड मॉर्निंग। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आज जी बिजनेस के साथ जुड़ने के लिए, अपना वक्त देने के लिए। एक बार मार्केट्स पर आपसे एक राय जानना चाहूंगा सर। अगर आप वैसे देखें तो जो हमारा लाइफ हाई लगा था वहां से 5-6% दूर ही है। अच्छी रिकवरी जून से अब तक मार्केट्स में आई है। अब थोड़ा ग्लोबल सेंटिमेंट वापस रेट्स की तरफ फोकस कर रहा है, वापस रिसेशन की बात चल रही है, इन्फ्लेशन की बात चल रही है। तो जो जून तक बाजार में एक शार्प फॉल आई थी, वो ग्रोथ को लेकर एक ओवर रिएक्शन था और इसलिए बाजार फिसले थे, या फिर जून से जो रिकवरी आई है वो ज्यादा ओवर ऑप्टिमिस्ट हो गए थे बाजार और इसलिए मूव आई थी? कैसे देख रहे हैं सर आप बाजार के सेटअप को?
जिस हिसाब से मेरा अंडरस्टैंडिंग है मार्केट का, आई थिंक जो वॉलेटिलिटी रिसेंटली जो आया था, आई थिंक दैट वाज लार्जली ऑन अकाउंट ऑफ जैक्सन होल्स डिस्कशन दैट हैपेंड। उनका जो डिस्कशन में जो अब जो सेंट्रल बैंकर्स का व्यू आया था, स्पेशली इन्फ्लेशन इज गोइंग टू बी स्टिकी, उसका कारण पे जो रेट्स का बड़ा करने के लिए जो कोशिश जो करते रहते हैं उन लोग, so that will continue to remain till such time inflation is a control. उसका वजह से recently तो volatility आया था market पे. If you look at historic, I think if you look at the last almost 6 months, मेरे हिसाब से the number of investors who withdrew money from the market globally, I'm saying, hedge funds का जो withdrawal जो था, hedge funds का जो selling pressure था, the emerging market का allocations कम होने वजह से जो selling pressure जो था, that something looks like it was got bit overdone. Secondly, is because of the market volatility. Even I was also gathering some information from global market. Most of the asset management companies in the US had increased the cash level on one side, also increased the hedge position on the other side. Therefore, the market में जो last एक महीने में जो market में pullback आया, probably I will attribute to the one, short covering. Second is cash is getting deployed, and third is asset allocation, which otherwise would have gone bit underweight on equity, would have actually come back to equity. So the हिसाब से जो last एक महीने में इंडिया जो emerging market में पैसा आया, there is a statistic which is available in Bloomberg which talks about $7.5 billion roughly जो पैसा emerging market में allocate हुआ, उसमें almost 70% of the money has come to India because of a variety of reasons we can say, including the pressure that is getting built on Russia and China. And India seems to be a better country when it comes to the emerging market, both on reform initiatives, fundamentals are getting better. So 13.5% GDP growth higher, at least among the world comparison, and India looks much better. So वो basis पे I think the inflows भी आया. मेरे हिसाब से जो market में pullback आया is one, some element of fear of not being too much away from the market, उसके वजह से थोड़ा पैसा लगाना शुरू हुआ मेरे हिसाब से. And third, of course, last, of course, is the domestic investors continue to be participants in the market. Though we are seeing some slowdown, but otherwise, your participation, which otherwise was missing for some time, as I've said, your participation is actually. That's why I think we are saying momentum of the market is picking up. And last but not the least, the festival season this year it seems to be right from Ganpati festival that is started day before yesterday. There seems to be big expectation on consumer behavior the next few months to reflect on sales, on consumer durables, consumers durable में spending का जो customers का जो expectation जो है, मेरे हिसाब से a festival season is going to be one of the best festival season from the economic activities point of view. मेरे हिसाब से वो भी हो सकता है. That's why I think the market is now building up some bit of momentum on these expectations.
बेस्ड ऑन जो आपने अभी मार्केट सेटअप समझाया, आप अपने पोर्टफोलियो में या आप अपने स्टॉक सिलेक्शन में, सेक्टर सिलेक्शन में कुछ चेंजेस कर रहे हैं? जो इस समय आपने कहा डोमेस्टिक फैक्टर ज्यादा अच्छे हैं, कंजम्पशन स्टोरी पर लग रहा है, तो आप क्या चेंजेस कर रहे हैं पोर्टफोलियो में?
क्लियरली फ्रॉम मनी मैनेजर्स पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू ऑन द बेस ऑफ जो पोर्टफोलियो हिसाब से हम लोग जो कंस्ट्रक्ट कर रहे हैं, was our CIO Mahesh Patil and the whole team who have been building the portfolio. उनका जो ये बेसिस पे जो भी दिया था वो बेसिस पे even they have gone little more confident on taking exposure in the banking and financial sectors. I think banking and financial sectors seems to be doing now better, and probably now the outlook also now getting better. So वो एक I think मेरे हिसाब से ये portfolio allocation में बढ़ाया actually. Second is the capital good sectors, given the fact that there is government spending continues to remain big focus area, and in general capex now is being announced by private sector, the manufacturing investment जो आ रहा है actually वो basis पे. I think capital goods sector also seems to be now gaining some strength, including power sectors. And third, on the basis of tourism expectations, there are certain sectors will also benefit on basis which some exposures in that sector also now is being added. And last but not the least, especially on consumer durables, on basically on pickup expectations, including autos. I think largely as a fund house have been bullish, a basis which I think the portfolio adjustments also have been now carried out by the money managers.
सर लग रहा है ऑटोज की आउट परफॉर्मेंस कंटिन्यू करेगी बिकॉज लास्ट 6 मंथ्स एटलीस्ट ऑटोज का अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस रही, तो आपको लग रहा है आगे भी ऐसी परफॉर्मेंस रहेगी?
See, I think when you last since also the sector was completely ignored. I think if you look at the sector, what did not give much return for a variety of reasons. So now every company is adapting to the EV. They are adapting the change. I think the consumer buying behaviors are coming back. There are certain segment we are seeing the waiting period for cars also is improving. Whatever the chips related issues that were there, I think that also now gradually is coming down. Therefore, that's something we are now seeing a pickup in terms of delivery. Inventory levels are getting reduced. And waiting period, if you look at most of the cars, now in the range of about 3 to 4 months. I think all these things actually pointing towards some element of recovery. Auto sector में recovery का तो जो expectation है मेरे हिसाब से अगर consumer spending थोड़ा बढ़ना शुरू हो जाते हैं, then naturally the auto sector should do well. Last but not the least, within that, if you look at the economic activities, but like I say, freight movements increases, so therefore the recovery on freights also improves, the rates go up, and then the kamai for commercial vehicle operators will improve. Therefore, the demand for commercial vehicles will improve. I think we'll get on that vicious cycle as far as the auto sector concerns. Sector being the most important sector for the country as a whole from manufacturing side, have gone through their own pain period. मेरे हिसाब से उसका फॉर्च्यून seems to be coming back.
तो ये ऑटो सेक्टर की परफॉर्मेंस अभी भी अच्छी रहेगी. सर आईटी का क्या होगा? रिसेंटली अंडर परफॉर्मेंस रही है, ग्लोबल ग्रोथ पर भी थोड़े कंसर्न्स है. आईटी आपको कैसा दिख रहा है इस समय?
See, IT sector, I think one should consider a sector में I think core के हिसाब से consider करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि IT as a sector will remain integral part of the economy, very large component of the service sector, servicing the needs of global companies, including of course India. Therefore, this will remain as an integral part of the portfolio. I think the sector of course goes through some pain period, क्योंकि जो economic का recession का expectation है, normally spending on IT gets reduced. Therefore, to the extent one can expect this company to see volatile earnings. And otherwise, look at the balance sheet of these companies with the high level of cash and average growth rate of these companies somewhere in the range of about 4 to 5% on a quarter-on-quarter basis, or 3 to 4% on a quarter-on-quarter basis. It's not a something one can ignore it. But I think it's more of a relative performance basis. Some sectors tend to underperform, some sectors tend to outperform. Purely on the basis of outlook changes on earnings, consumer behavior changes, the way the money manager will look at overweight, underweight in the portfolio. O basis way, I think, as we see some underperformance coming from IT sectors. But I think there are structurally long-term story. There are certain sectors that have to be looked at, whether they are integral part of the whole economy, market, and structurally long-term bullish story. And something which is sector which is more of cyclical sectors. And cyclical sectors like autos, cyclical sectors, they will go through some bit of ups and downs. At the same time, the global cyclical sectors such as metals, they will go through their own period of ups and downs. Therefore, from money managers' point of view, have to pay attention to both. That's why we all do. Structurally, long-term bullish stories, do have exposure. At the same time, you participate in the domestic cyclicals as well as global cyclical, depending upon the trend that we see.
टी पोर्टफोलियो का हिस्सा बना रहेगा, बट फिलहाल ज्यादा फोकस है डोमेस्टिक स्टोरी पर, कंजम्पशन पर. ऑटोज जिसकी बात कर रहे थे, कैपिटल गुड्स, इंफ्रा, ये भी अच्छी स्पेस लग रही है. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया बाला सर, एज ऑलवेज मजा आता है आपसे बात कर और आपका मार्केट व्यू और आगे का डायरेक्शन समझकर. ये थे ए बालासुब्रमण्यम साहब, आदित्य बिरला सन लाइफ एएमसी के एमडी एंड सीईओ, अपने मार्केट आउटलुक के साथ.